Are USC players throwing shade at Clay Helton and his previous staff at USC? Is that a bad sign for us West Virginia fans? Let's talk about it. What is up, college sports fans, fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Coos. Welcome to another edition of Coos' Corner. Come in, sit back, relax, make yourself at home, and let me pour you out a shot of top-shelf college sports content. If you like that kind of content, please hit that red subscribe button. If you haven't yet, please give me the thumbs up button if you like this video, and please share it with your friends. And don't forget, guys, see this shirt right here? This describes the life of a West Virginia Mountaineer fan this past sports season, basketball and football season. Stress Virginia. We've been put under a lot of stress. If you want this shirt right here, all you've got to do is click the link in my description box, go to earsgear.com, use the promo code COOZ, C-O-U-Z, with all caps, get 20% off your order. He has a lot of other shirts to choose from as well. Go check it out. Let's get on with the show. Miller Moss, quarterback at USC, expected to be the backup to Caleb Williams, was in an interview with some USC media members earlier this week and made a kind of threw some shade at Clay Helton and his previous staff. I'm going to put the tweet up on the screen that had a clip from that interview in it. Let you listen to it. Take a listen.
The red zone was kind of an issue for you guys last year. How's that going this year? And I mean, what is the difference with kind of Lincoln coming at it?
Yeah, no, it's interesting because we dominated the red zone period today, so that was definitely good for us. But yeah, I mean, we actually work on red zone, so that's helpful.
Well, as you can see, he made a comment and basically said, we actually work on red zone, and chuckled. So what's that tell me? That Clay Helton and his staff apparently didn't work on red zone offense very, very often, and thus USC was not good at red zone offense. As a matter of fact, their touchdown rate, 92nd in the nation in the red zone, USC's was. 2019, they were 58th. In 2020, they were 67th in the country in red zone touchdown percentage. So they got gradually worse over time. Now, what's ironic, those 3 seasons, their offensive coordinator was Graham Harrell, who is now the offensive coordinator at West Virginia. And in some dialogue back and forth with USC fans underneath this tweet, in a thread, a lot of the fans are saying, hey, you guys better not be so excited about Graham Harrell. He has trouble putting the ball in the end zone. So I think about this, and I'm thinking, should we be concerned about that? I don't think so, and here's why. Number one, Graham Harrell runs an air raid offense. Air raid offense has not known to be good in the red zone. Dana Holgerson's offense typically struggled in the red zone. It's not that big of a secret because they spread the field out so wide, they don't have as much space, and they do pass the ball a lot. And we all know passing the ball is tougher in the red zone. What can make your red zone offense better? A good running game. And I'm confident that West Virginia is going to have a good running game this season. I think Tony Mathis is going to have a breakout year. I think Lynn J. Dixon is going to give us a home run hitter. I think he's going to be able to break some long ones. Air raid is a big play offense. They get yards in big chunks. So if they can make a lot of big plays, we may not have that many chances to score in the red zone anyway. We can get points from outside the red zone, number one. And number two, I think this falls more on Clay Helton, and I'll tell you why. Now, I'm not a football coach. It's definitely not a D1 football coach, so I don't know exactly how practices work, but I would guess, I did play high school football, and our coach was the head coach was always the one who organized practices. So I would imagine that somebody, if you're a coach watching this or somebody that's played college football at that level, let me know in the comments section who's responsible for deciding what happens at practice, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Is it the offensive coordinator's job or is it the head coach? But I would venture to guess that Clay Helton was the one who decided what they went over at practice. And if he decided that they didn't need to practice red zone offense, then they didn't practice red zone offense. I don't really think this is a huge concern. Maybe us West Virginia fans are a little too optimistic about Graham Harrell. If you look back at his days at USC, now they did average a lot of yards per game, but they did not put the ball in the end zone a whole lot. They only scored 37 touchdowns last season. It's about 3 a game, and that's not that great, to be honest. So, maybe their offense, their defense was terrible, and I'm sure they put the offense in a lot of bad situations. So that plays a role in it too. So I'm not saying Graham Harrell's a bad offensive coordinator by any stretch, because he did do some good things at North Texas as well. And USC's offense did improve when he got there, but they still struggled to get the ball in the end zone a lot of times. So he wasn't necessarily, this end-all be-all savior for their team. He'll be a good – I definitely think in West Virginia's case we've improved, because we can't get much worse. I mean, heck, I think we've been 80th or worse ever since Neal Brown got here on the offensive side of the ball. So we really have nowhere to go but up, in my opinion. I do think our offense will be much improved under Graham Harrell, and I do think we will score a lot more than we did the last 3 seasons. Not real concerned about it. And also, I think red zone offense might be a little bit overrated. You can put points on the board in other ways besides red zone. For example, we know how bad West Virginia's offense was last year. They were top 10 in the country in red zone scoring last year, and they scored on 66. They scored touchdowns on 66% of their red zone possessions, which was a lot better than USC. And our offense was terrible. We were like 101st in the country or something like that in total offense. So red zone scoring is not the end-all be-all. Now, is it important? Absolutely. But I don't put a lot of stock in it. I think a lot of times us fans just have a tendency to focus on the negatives. And I know Clay Helton was not like there. There's been a lot of talk that he was lazy, and maybe that's the case. So I think USC struggles were more on Clay Helton and less on Graham Harrell. But we will see. Time will tell whether or not Graham Harrell's the guy to be the offensive coordinator for the Mountaineers. And the proof will be in the pudding, so, as they say. As we get into the 2022 season and get a few games in, we will see what we got there. Well, listen, guys, let me know in the comments section what you think. Do you think we should be concerned about USC's lack of ability to score in the red zone? Or do you think that was strictly a Clay Helton issue, that he just didn't practice it and go over it enough at practice? I want to hear your thoughts on that. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please don't forget the earsgear.com link. And also, guys, there's a link in there to go to the BetUS site. If you want to do your online betting or online gambling, use that link. You can buy your Fanatics gear, your Amazon gear as well. There's links to that stuff too. Get you into those websites. And I really appreciate you tuning into this show. And as always, Q Country Roads.